I hope everybody kind of understands this a little bit. The gravity of what we've done here. We've taken what's easily like 2 weeks of work and compressed it down into a few hours to get something that does this in this way. $10,000, $20,000 easy. We're making a website. I don't know what that's going to look like yet. So I guess we should just get into this. Oh, that looks so cool. That's what's about to happen. It's hacking time. Yeah, baby. We got it. We got it. So today we're going to be doing a one-day build. We're going to try to get something built just in one day, which will be exciting. Let me switch over to that office cam. You see how excited those guys are for this? They're so excited. And I've got Noah with me. Do you want to say hello, Noah?
What's up? How you doing, Greg?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks a lot for joining me today. Like, this is going to be fun. We're essentially building the tool for you, you know?
I know, right? This will be interesting.
I think that's my favorite part of it, is that it's built for you and will bring you along for the ride using this piece of technology that not many people know about. I can tell you it's baller. The company's name is Airtable. First of all, Ashton Kutcher backed this company. That should mean something. What is really cool about Airtable is that it essentially takes all this really complicated work, something like a spreadsheet could do, and then adds a real database to it, and then adds like real functions on top of that. So you get a spreadsheet with functions and data. If you're a developer making like mini apps for people, you could just do it inside of Airtable. I think this is a thing. If you have a client that's like, I need a solution, you might be able to do it in Airtable in like 2 hours instead of in PHP over the course of a month, you know?
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting. There's a lot of fun possibilities we can play with.
That's right. Yeah. So I kind of want to walk through Airtable first. And by the way, this is not sponsored by Airtable or anything like that. It's just I'm shilling a company that we're not sponsored by, which is probably a no-no. Airtable, if you want me to shill for you, I will. I got no scruples. You just hook me up with stuff. I'll shill this thing till the end of my days because I think it's a quality app. And it's not just for things like web apps. It could also be used for just content tracking, which is what we're going to use it for. So I'm just going to walk through their website for a second. We're developers, right?
Well, yeah, we could say that. Yeah, we're developers.
Yeah, we're developers, so we want to make our own thing, right? But if we wanted to say we needed an app to do any of this stuff, so here's like indie film production, boom, you can just use this.
Oh, so they have like their own little store, if you will, for templates.
Yep.
Nice. Okay, that's useful.
Yep.
Very useful.
In my opinion, Airtable is the new kid on the block, and I don't see a reason to use Google Sheets if I have layers of data.
Perfect.
Let's just talk about the idea for a second. We're building a content media production tracking app. Noah has joined our team here. And he's going to be helping us kind of figure out what we're doing in terms of serialized content. And that's a really complicated problem, right, man? Like,
oh, yes, very much so.
Because there's levels. So when we look at like, how does the media look? That default font size, just micro. Okay. I think you start with like, when you're making media, like what we want to make is we want to make series information, like episode series. But when we make projects, that's software projects, we kind of just say it starts here and it ends when it's launched, and whatever happens in the middle happens. We don't plan out every day, you know? This stuff we're going to know. We're going to say we have this overarching topic. I'm trying to type this stuff in now because I've gotten feedback that my writing is hard to read. So we have a topic, and then inside of the topic, what would you say is underneath that? A lesson plan?
If we think of a topic, let's just take Illustrator since we're using Illustrator.
Okay.
The topic might be Illustrator, sure, but Illustrator might be broken apart even further.
These are real. Well, these are real world examples. So we have a topic, this overarching thing called Illustrator that we're going to make content around.
Yeah,
and then
so you're going to have multiple topics associated to that, which kind of go into the difficulty levels, if you will. Like the toolbar. When you first open Illustrator and you just start looking at the UI, there's a whole bunch of buttons and you might not know the interface. So one whole little topic might just be the interface itself. or
But
options.
that might be a lesson. We're not in the Russian doll nesting thing yet, right?
Right.
Illustrator's our big doll. And then you open that up, and then it's like for beginners. We have to go deeper now because for beginners is going to have multiple episodes. So now we get into an episode, and now, like you said, the toolbar. That's an example. Now, and then you could say, well, geez, you just keep having those, right? Just an endless amount of those that could happen. We're not even through the breadth of this yet. It's just the ownership system, right? But we could have another series here, right? And then that goes even for experts or something. It could just keep going, right? And that's the thing.
It just keeps going.
Managing this inside of like a Google Sheet would be a nightmare. There's components of each one of these things, right? And we can get into what are the components of the area or something. We can come up with a better word later. But the area is Illustrator. The target is for beginners, and then the episode is the toolbar. So we kind of that's the Russian doll. Now, but the thing is, at each level, they're going to have data associated with them somewhere. So you can't just go to the episode, do all your work there, and hope it figures itself out. The episodes are fairly separated from the rest of it, but they need to reference all the information all the way down. So if we think about this from like a really practical standpoint, if we said that there's an episode that we're doing, let's think of the data that could live inside of that, right? And I'm going to use operator mono for this because it's a monospaced font, so we can feel like we're developers.
Sure.
So we can go through the YouTube stuff first, right? It has a title, It has a description, it has a category that it goes into, and YouTube has a number of categories, so that's actually enumerable, meaning we can load a list into that and say like pick one, and that's Airtable, baby. You can do that kind of stuff. You can be like,
nice.
You could pre-built formatted data. It's the way. I'm going to keep waving my hand like Bernie Sanders here.
I once again am asking you to use Airtable.
We have tags.
Thumbnail,
right. And that's an image. So we'll have an attachment there.
I would imagine the playlist ID would probably be more under the target.
Anything else YouTube specific? So we got the title, we've got the description.
Do we want to break the description apart in Airtables to match the format?
We could possibly do that. Yes, let's do something. Let's just like pretend we're going to plan on that.
We should probably add another entry for file upload, not only just for the thumbnail, but also for any subtitle, for when we want to do subtitled videos for the episode stuff. Might not need it, but might as well build it in now just in case we want to use it.
Oh, dude, it's so easy to build this thing. You're going to blow your pants off.
I'm excited.
So outside of YouTube specific stuff, we could have then the content development end, right? In order for us to produce it in the studio, we need certain things to be taken care of. And that's going to be the stuff you're doing.
Correct.
So if we're making a video on the toolbar in Illustrator, we're going to need you to write that. But it's not technically writing, but maybe we could call it...
I normally call it short script.
Look at that. That's a word I've never heard before. Short script.
Yeah. It's essentially like, basically it's a bulleted list of this is like the mile markers to hit in this order to be considered episode complete.
That's awesome.
There might be, depending on the length of the video, we might want to try to specify like how long that we think that this should take to get through. So like almost
okay.
Like
Target length.
Yeah. Like
I think we should make that enumerable. We should enumerate that because like we could have essentially like 3 options there to say like short, medium length, and long. Well, I don't think I can think of much more that would go into this. The content development here, that's great.
Yeah, for the episode data, I think that's it. There is some data that'll be attached to target and area as well, so we might want to itemize that out.
Yep. Let's do that next. Okay, so target data may not have all that much.
It's not going to have a lot.
Yeah, it's going to have possibly things like promotional channels, because that would apply to everything in there. If we say we're making a video series about Illustrator, then that every video in the Illustrator series should be able to go into that promotional channel. Possibly like a playlist name, base description.
Yep. And then another one is the audience. And then another one would be the type. So the content type. Does Airtable provide integrations? Like if I give it like a URL and or an API call, can I grab a data from it? Because it'd be nice to see if we can also dump the actual views of the episode.
Oh, let's do that. Let's do that. views, likes, comments, right? I wonder if there's just an RSS feed.
Could be, maybe.
Whoa, boy. Look at this guy. You getting a look at that guy?
Whoa.
Could you imagine somebody like just staring at you in front of a classroom just saying, how to get an RSS feed for a YouTube channel, and he's just looking at you like this? Let's get our head wrapped back into what we're trying to do here rather than geeking out and be like, can we do this? Because
we are developers.
Right? Yeah, we are. Okay, so we have area data. What would the area data be? Audience at this level. There's obvious things that these things have, like names. I think because area is such a sort of basic thing, do you really quickly want to just write out like 5 or 6 of these?
Yeah, we can do that. Ooh, you know what? I'm thinking now, when we talked about that playlist type, where we said it might be like instructional versus like one day build, maybe that's actually the area.
So at the high level, we might have projects that we're working on. That simplifies that.
Yeah, it should be. Everything that we do should break down into one of 4 of those things.
Yeah, we might come up with like a 5th, but
yeah, we might add categories to that accordingly. But
this is just an idea grabber, holder, whatever. What if that's called the topic? And then we're just going to work through that for beginners. And that's the series.
Yeah, that's better. Yeah. Area, topic, series, episode.
And I think what's nice about breaking it up like this is that you can dump ideas in. That's the main outcome here, is we want it to get someplace where we can dump ideas so they can be developed and turned into things that then we can produce in terms like as videos. What do you think? I think we got it. I think we got it laid out.
Yeah. Plus, if Airtables is as slick as you say it, it'll be easy to change it if we need to.
It should be. Yeah, it should be.
Let's do it.
So let's go get an account. So let's start from scratch. Let's find a nice icon for this. Oh, there's so many icons. Fighter jet. Perfect. All right. So there's this person with an incredibly large hand and a really tiny head.
Oh, wow.
Okay. There's some graphics going on here. That's really pretty.
Oh, man. I was hoping that crazy character was going to be in.
She'll be back, I hope. So blocks are a thing that we can. Oh, geez, there's a whole bunch of them. There's a whole family of these weirdos. Are these the same people from the Google Tasks family?
Probably.
Do you remember this guy? Google Tasks guy. There he is. Look at him. That's a chonky boy. Like, step 1, go to doctor and figure out why my head is so tiny or my body is so big. Because he can't tell. I think it's his head's tiny. Look at the size of the scissors in comparison to it. His phone. So tiny. Why is my head so tiny? God, why did you make me like this? God, I'm so productive. So our first table, essentially it works just like a spreadsheet, but the main differences are that you can start to define fields. So we can say that there's different types of fields. You see this is called notes, and this is just like long text. So in a database that might just be called text, and the single line text might be like in MySQL it'd be varchar. Like it's a short amount of text. Attachments, now you're getting into more specific things. Like you have an upload box here, checkbox, is it done or not? Multiple select, like we could go through all of them, but I'm not going to. And this goes even further to then allow you to do, links to other records quickly. So that whole thing could be looking up against the table. So if you had a table with all the country names in it or something, boom, there you go. And you guys have done this stuff in PHP, right? Or like Ruby or whatever. You've done it. But it's totally easy mode.
I like it a lot.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's absolutely blows my mind. The first time I used it, I was just like, I could see why it caught so much investment. We'll call this first table now area lookup, and then we have 4. So that's just your basic lookup, right? And let's get rid of everything that we're not using. Get rid of it. So we're just going to keep this as tidy as possible. Let's make a next table. We'll call this one the topics. And what we're going to do, I guess we'll build down one and go from there, right? So delete that field. It's going to have to belong to an area. Let's say we're making instructional content. So we'll go here and change this field type, link to area lookup. So we're going to have to do one of those things. So we only want it to be in one category. Change that from attachments to area. And then here, when we go to set this, boom, we have to select one. So that's instructional. Boom. There you go. So now we're locking in. We're like big time locking in on this. And so then the next thing we would do is set audience. This could just be a enumerable thing. So for that, we can use the multiple select, but we'd have one maybe that says developers, designers, entrepreneurs. But we're just building the system now. We'll say this is for designers. So now we can just type in, get autocomplete, and boom. Okay, so for the series, we have the name of the series. So this one could be for beginners. Now we're gonna have to link all that stuff back, right? So we'll link this and say, what topic is this? Link to another record, topics, and then change that to topic. So now here we'll type in Illustrator, boom, got it. And now once we go back here, we can look at Illustrator, expand the record. That this is essentially, we're just using a form builder, but it's organizing this stuff. Now we could go even further and say, we'll add a field here that says like series count. So there's 1. Let's just delete these empty ones. It doesn't do anything weird. And do this, and for new wedding photographers. And now you can link this in either place. You can either link it here or you can link it back here. So we can come back here and say for new wedding photographers, boom. And it's seeing that there's one of these and one of these. So we're just going to double check all the counts, right? And come here, we'll make one more for experts. Since it's doing all the lookup, boom, it's already looked it up. Go back to topics, we see 2 there. You just made a web app in like 10 minutes. And it's like, now it's just how far do you want to go with it? You're not, look at this, it even updated this. So here, now we're just going to do a reference. So area lookup on series, that's how we should be moving it down. It's area lookup.
I believe that's a reference. It's going to be an actual lookup.
So here it lost its area. So we have to pass the area down. Oh yeah. Field on this table that links the records you want to look up. Topic. And then what do you want to look up from that? The area. Boom. Boom. Look at that. You know how much code that would be? At least 2 lines. It has a name, a playlist name. Probably move that all the way over. Boom. Illustrator for noobs. Yeah, a decent playlist name. We have a base description. Now this is long text. Oh, we could do rich text formatting too? Oh, baby. Why not? Let's have a base description here. So I don't think we'd ever want to come in here and do this, but let's just say we have this base description for this video and you just copy it, right? Open that up. Boop. Yeah, look at that. Now you got it right there. So crazy that this is a thing. Oh, and let's do something really quick. You see how we got this display right now? Check this out. We do group. We'll group by area. Boop. Now we get this one. How cool is that?
I like that. That's
yeah,
cool.
Right? Let me ask you a question. Just based on what you've seen so far, what do you think?
Oh, it's mind-blowing, dude. This is making stuff way easier.
Do you think, easier. Are you going to talk to somebody and be like, hey, let's get an account. Let's see if we can use it.
I know, right? Like for some of the stuff, it might be worth like looking into for some project tracking.
Blows my mind. Again, we're not sponsored by Airtable, but Airtable, if you'd like to sponsor us, you just throw stuff at us. Anything free. We'll take it. Hook me up with Ashton and we'll work out something. So we still have a few more things to add. We have the playlist name. We have the base description. We have the refined audience that we need to figure out here, right? Because in the topic level, we set a audience. But here we want to set the refined audience. And just for now, we'll say beginners or something like that. And I'm going to show how this is going to work. We're going to save that. And then we're going to type in beginners. And you see, we didn't need to figure all that out there because we just create a new option. But what it does is it makes sure that you don't fat finger and type the wrong thing there. So there's the refined audience. And the next thing I want to do here is I want to get the audience out of topics. So we're going to do another lookup and say based on the topic, grab the audience. So now we're starting to see our tree building. Designers, beginners, right? So the other thing we'd set is the difficulty level. Easy or hard? Sounds good to me.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, we can start with 2 to start.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing is that we want to add more, not a big deal.
Click on it,
yeah. Okay. So we've got most of the series thing in that we could identify. I'm sure there's going to be more eventually. But let's do YouTube specific. We have a 1-day build, right? So a topic for a 1-day build, what would that be? What if it was the area was 1-day build and the topic was 1-day build?
I mean, you can. Yeah, that would actually make more sense because that's its own thing. And then the episode details where you start telling what you actually build.
So it's a 1-day build. The audience is designer, developers. So that series, again, might be 1-day builds. And the topic name, 1. Oh, baby. We're in it now. We're self-referencing everything. And we can do the same thing, or we can group this again probably by topic. Oh, it's so cool when it does that.
I like that. That animation is really nice too.
Yeah. So we'll start to see if this makes sense, right? There's a topic called One Day Builds. Inside of that, we're going to need series. Yeah, let's get into an episode then. We'll build this out first and go from there. So here we're going to have a whole bunch of stuff. So it'll actually be like episode title. Description, this is going to be the long text. Episode specific and the reference to the target. So let me add the lookup first. And that would be the series. And that's the link to another record. Grab the series records. It's not going to be inside of 2 series. And so the title we came up with was, can we build a website from scratch in one day? The series now is One Day Builds. Go back to the series. Let's take the stuff that's going to be inside. There's the base right there. Don't expand the group. Boom. It's just going to take that. And now we can say, what was the base description? So we'll grab from the series, go to the series table, and then get me the base description.
Oh, I'm digging I'm liking how they present it when you do the view. Alters the form field too.
Yeah.
That's really nice.
Yeah. To kind of give you like the space you need. Yep.
Yeah.
So, but again, now we have the ability to look at this record and I can see it really easily. Just like, oh, this is so much easier. I've got a place where I can work. So we need a category. Now the category, I want to pre-fill this. So it's a multiple select. Boom. So YouTube doesn't have that many categories. I wonder if I can just get a list. Why would you do this, guy? Those are all the categories for sure, right there. But can I just, nope. Gotta have the detail next to it. Double T-body. Oh, crap. Oh, we're looking for TD. There we go. Hacker, man. Right here. This is as good as it gets. Boom. It doesn't look pretty, but the good stuff never does. Grab all that. What's funny is we won't use most of these ever. They're just going to be there.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
Maybe the Omatum Studios office might get a pet one day.
I'm hoping. Hold on a second. Office guys, what do you think about getting like a golden retriever? Little puppy. That's a 2 thumbs up from Rob. 1 thumb up from Zach. That's 3 thumbs up. I'm just gonna give it 1 thumb up because I gotta look, man. There's a lot of responsibility. It's almost like a side thumb. It's a half. Okay, so I got all the categories in, and I'm curious if we should make the tags multiple selects, or if we should just make it long text. We want something where like you could go on a video and paste it in.
Yeah, that'd be the ideal. So that way when you have that stuff done, it's just kind of there.
Let's take this one. Oh, that's one big tag. Okay. How much is YouTube worth again? Okay. What we might be able to do is like create a pasteable tags thing. Yeah, it's commons.
Yeah, that's true. A little script to take your entries and create the CSV.
Yeah. So if we had the multiple select here, and it's also a question mark if by using a multiple select thing. So I'm just gonna put 2 in here to make it easy. Omatum, Greg. Also, we're trying to rank search for Greg. That will be fun. Greg. Let's just see what it does when I copy it. Oh boy, you can't even. Copy record URL. What? That's interesting. What do you do with that? Send the record. Send this to the president. That is really actually, look at that thing. Do you see this?
That's hilarious.
Not even hilarious. That's genius.
Yeah, because that's how you can do deliverable stuff.
Wow. That's a weird noise that came out of my mouth. That really is exciting though, because you could look at it. It's all formatted in this email.
Change it to grid layout. What's the grid layout look like?
It's a table.
Oh, nice.
Look, you get this all set up and be like, boom, and send it off to somebody and be like, here you go. And it did here separate. Look, it did comma separated right there. Oh boy. We want it here, right? So we're just we don't have to.
I have an idea.
Yeah, what's up, buddy?
What if you did a calculated field based on tags to jump the CSV? So you have a second.
So you think it's a formula to pull this off?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, let's try that. Formula. Oh, look at this. Look at this. That's really useful. Look at that. Just there you go. Just you want to write a formula, you don't have to go find Sam's Teaches Microsoft Excel in 24 Hours book from 1992. So we want the tags one. So what we probably want is like 2 CSV or something. Yeah, array join. And does it have, yeah, it does. So the values and then the limiter. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, perfect.
Oh, look at this. You don't have to figure this out. Boom. And then give me a comma, baby. Done. Oh, baby. Look at that. So what else do we have? We have publish date up next. Is that going to say like once it's published?
Like, well, I guess it depends on how you're actually producing the type of video. Like if you're going to do an instructional series, for example, are you going to publish them all at once? Or are you going to build them out systematically?
Or is that just like a thing that tracks the status of it? So I'll put the status right in the beginning and then we'll put this published date. What's weird, what I'm seeing here is it's like a little bit much. Oh boy. Yes. Oh, it figured it out. You see that? It just like took, that's crazy. It took that mess of extra data and was just like, screw it, I'll figure it out.
I like that. That's nice.
Yeah. I'm curious if we want to separate out content development. So you'd have episode and then like episode content.
You could separate them out because the episode's the grouping aspect that'll link the two things together.
Well, again, we'll have nil, right? So we could have working on as one status point, published or something as another one, written, working on, written, published. If it's written, we need to know. So red. And if it's published, not a big deal. So like a gray. I'd also like to point out that Airtable was smart enough to stick a freaking idea right in that row. We're not all that smart when we're making databases, but they were.
I would say you should be draft. There should be a drafted.
What is drafted?
So working on to me is like, hey, something's in progress. Like, think of it like a Kanban board, right? Like this is in my column.
So why don't we do like light green and then deep green for it's drafted. And so what we would then do is produced, because we don't really have any intermediate steps. We just say, okay, it's produced. And then published, meaning it's been published. So if it's produced, we could say uploaded. So if it's at uploaded, it needs to get to published. If it's that's produced, it needs to get to uploaded.
We might publish it privately.
Yes.
We might upload it and set it to private until we're ready to launch it.
So this one is actually done. So it's published. We'll just set that status. A thumbnail.
Yep. Time to get to files.
Yeah. So let's do attachment. So it might make sense up at the series level to stick like a thumbnail source file. There we go. So you can see it. You can download the source. Oh, and look at this. The episodes are already coming in here. How cool is that? So we'll do an attachment. Let's just see if it takes this this file. I'd be curious if there's a limit as well to file size. 2 gigabytes. That could fill up quick. Although a 7 megabyte file, why don't we just hit that? Was there pricing around the blocks as well? Yep, look at that. That puts you into a $20 per month tier. Per user, billed annually, monthly, $24. So for the 4 of us to use almost $1,200 a year. Again, I'm not sponsored by Airtable, but Airtable, if you have a perception that this has helped you out, let me just swing it towards us. Just swing the money for that subscription right at us. We'll just stick to this cheap plan for poor people. Okay, a subtitles file. Yeah, that is YouTube specific, so we'll add that. That's another attachment. That one we don't really have anything for, and we kind of have a gist of how the uploading works now, so I'm just going to add that. An upload link. So this is where we get to see how that other thing works, right? Let's add the video link, and this is going to be an URL. We'll grab the video that we have. Okay, so now we have the video link in. I'm real curious. What can we do with this? So we do have a video link. We probably want to link this now down to another table that's just content, right? The content development part. So now that's pretty good. That's a lot of that is all of the work kind of figured out for if we weren't writing content, if we were just trying to make sure we got it out there better. But now we have to go one step further. So it'd have to be episode content, which is where you'd actually develop the episode. Auto number. Is that what? Yeah. Boom. Yeah. That your basic, like, it's just called number 1. Your next one's going to be the actual thing that goes out and grabs this, link to another record. Boom. And this is going to be the episode right here. Can we build a website from scratch in 1 day? So that's going to require that to have a title first. Or you could probably go here and just create a new title. Boom. And then that's going to come back here and create that here. Oh, that's so cool.
I feel like that was black magic wizardry.
Right? Right? Like, what? Jeez, Louis. Like, you're just like, this is, just guys, I don't know. So let's make this a long text with rich text. Save that. I kind of want to see what that looks like before we move on. Is that going to give you, it does. It gives you a medium type editor. If we take all this and paste it in, does it preserve formatting? Nope. Let me see if we can do like a Google Doc. Okay. Can we just be real clear about what just happened there on that screen? Did you see that?
Yeah, that was weird.
Grab, copy, paste, text. Grab, copy, paste, image. What? How long has this been a thing? That's a thing? This is a thing?
Wait, what? Oh, that's crazy.
How's that happening? Oh boy. Oh, why? Why did we not know about this? That's for real though. Grab that, boom. Look at that. You can make your stuff real pretty now. All right, so all we're trying to test is does it copy formatting into the rich text thing? So I'm just gonna do that. Just see if it copies it. So if you wanted to, you could work in a Google Doc and then deliver here. Oh, yeah, it totally does it. Yep. You could just do it just like that. See, and by the way, Airtable does have an app and it works pretty well. I've done, we did like inventory with it and it just made it so easy. Like if you have a bunch of stuff, you gotta like books or something you want to get inventory of, makes it real simple. All right, thumbnail description. So what does this look like to you? This is
if it was an audio narration almost.
Like
so I'm just in text form. So I'm describing the thumbnail.
You might say like include a picture of a duck. Make sure it's a cute duck. Look at this cute duck. Right, like something like that. Just narration, something I could reference and say, okay, that's what he thinks we should do.
Yep.
So there's episode content. You know what this becomes? If it's done, there it is. That's a trackable state. So if we make another one, it's not going to have that, right? Yeah. Let's see what other views we could use for this. The toolbar, right? That's one of the episodes we had talked about. That sounds like a bar downtown. So what does this look like now as a Kanban board? Boom. Automatic Kanban board. That's pretty cool.
All right, that's cool.
Yeah. So what kind of cool stuff do you think we could build into this? Because we've got all the stuff in. This is, for all practical purposes, I think this is done. Look, I think we just built an app that would take me like over at least a couple days to build from scratch. Definitely weeks to get it this refined in all of like 2.5 hours.
Yeah, I think that shows the testament right there that this stuff is pretty powerful.
Super powerful app. Not expensive at all to use because it's free.
And there's all the background stuff that you didn't have to touch at all.
Yeah.
Like fully responsive, the ability to embed the theming, all that stuff.
Right. And this is something we can build on over time to make it better and better and better. I think what we're going to do is we're just going to start slapping stuff onto this as bonus to make it even crazier. Let's see if we can get YouTube statistic tracking built into Airtable using only Airtable. There's something in here that just says straight up like, write some JavaScript, right? Like do some JavaScript. There you go.
Yeah, it's called a scripting block. And then you get your edit and you can put your JavaScript in there.
Right there. Whoa, hold on. Now available on free and plus plans.
It's free real estate.
And we're going to sit this probably on an episode thing. So for right now, I'm just going to add YouTube views. We'll start with that one. If we can get views, we can get everything else. That's my thought. So there's all these, it's just JavaScript. There's all these things that they show you how to do. It looks like they have async pool. It'd be curious if this is sandbox JavaScript. Oh, look at that. You can do a fetch. If you can do a fetch, let me tell you.
You can get anything.
Yeah. So let me copy this. And I'm curious how we could get this thing. So this is kind of an interesting thing. It's not per field. It looks like you're actually having to pull these out. Let's start from scratch. Hello world, run. What's your name? I'll tell you my name, Greg. Welcome to the scripting block, Greg. Thanks. Hold on. Let's just try this one more time. What's my name? 10 divided by 2. Well, okay. I was hoping it would be old JavaScript and it would just say, oh, you want to do that instead. Now we're writing JavaScript. So this is like a little advanced, but we can simplify it. So the base table name that we want to talk to is episode. Let's see if there's any helping that goes in here. No. Oh, yeah, there is. Wow. This is a little IDE. Look at that.
Good luck building that into your app.
Right. Good luck.
That's awesome.
So we want the episodes table. We are going to have to see if there's a URL that we can hit that will give us JSON for something that's been published. So let's just see if that exists. This is going through their API. So because we don't have an API key, that's not going to work. We could go through the process of getting API key for sure. I'm surprised there isn't a public, like, if I have the URL, I can do it thing. I don't know. Can you, with JavaScript, can you pull an HTML file?
Yeah, you could fetch the
whole
raw
thing,
HTML, and then use JavaScript to parse it. Absolutely, you can.
Let's do that. So fetch. Why don't we just fetch this?
Yeah, and instead of response JSON, you'll end up doing response just text. So response.text.
Yep. And then let's do a comment block out here, and then let's just see what the data looks like. It looks like there's a thing to do this where it's like output dot something, right? Because I don't think it's a console log. I think we could do something here, maybe. We're flying by the seat of our pants right now. Failed to fetch, CORS error. Okay, so that's a problem. YouTube is saying we don't want people to do this. And so something on their server is not cool with another server querying into it. Interesting, look at this. In your script, you can use anything from the JavaScript standard library except for DOM APIs. So we wouldn't even be able to scrape the page, which is probably something they did on purpose to prevent people doing really shady stuff. So again, if that's the case, we need an API key from YouTube, but I can't show the process to do this on a stream. Get a key and then delete it after the stream. I guess we could do that, right? We could re-roll it.
You can re-roll, yeah. That or make a second account to use to grab a key and then wipe it. That way it doesn't interfere with your main.
Yeah. Maybe we could do like a read-only grant. That would be great. If I could do a read-only grant, I don't care. Like, we can show that thing, no problem.
Agreed.
Yeah. Is there anything that you see in that API that is writable, postable?
Yes, I just Googled YouTube read-only API key and it took me to a YouTube help page, and the basic answer is nope.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? Guys, you're just, what are you doing? I bet Vimeo has a read-only API key. Noah's going to get us a key for this on a fresh burner account.
Slowly but surely getting there.
Yeah, good luck.
It's a process.
So I'm going to learn how to write the request really quick.
Almost there. I'm enabling the API right now.
We think we're almost there.
All right, I have a key for you.
Give to Craig. Okay, so we're saying this is the request URL right here. And we could be a little more clear. So let's call that URL. The method will be get. The headers, we're probably not going to need to pass any headers because it's simple, but we'll find out. I will need to supply some information to this though, to say what I want to grab. Yeah, the actual request is going here. YouTube V3 videos. Okay. And the key is that. And so we're going to need another parameter that we set, list by video ID. And the ID parameter is used to get these specific videos. So that should be easy peasy. That's just ID equals the video URL, ID equals, and then plus, and then we're going to say let video ID equal, and we're going to use some regex to get this out of the actual thing. Or for right now, we're just going to slam in one of our video IDs. It's a video ID. Oh, come on. We're so close. Key is not defined. Sure, because I didn't write API key here. Now it's just Slop City. Ampersand part equals statistics. Run this sucker. Oh, boom, shakalaka. Got it.
Nice.
So let's see if we can pull this back out. We'll say we want JSON now. And now we'll go to this output text data thing and say, nope, don't need you to give us all this. What we want is data dot items 0 statistics dot view count. So await response. Oh, JSON like that. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so what do we want? We want the like count, or we could say activity count and combine likes, dislikes, and comments. Just say that's activity.
Yeah, you could, yeah.
Why don't we do that? Oh, JavaScript. Oh, JavaScript. You did the JavaScript thing, didn't you here? Oh, you want to add these three things together that are clearly numbers, but they look like strings to me?
10 divided by 2.
Right. There we go. So we got our activity count. We have a view count on this one video. So now what we're going to need to do is take a video link. I think this is a very good example because it's a dirty link. It's real dirty. We're gonna have to pull everything from v equals, but we'll know there's always gonna be v equals, right? Because we're not gonna screw that part up. Activity count, do that. And then let's just, for now, because we know these are numbers, set these to numbers. Boop. Decimal, hell no, integer. Save that. Let's get the URL now and stick that in here. Okay, let's get all of these things and stick them inside. This might break like if you had 200 things that you're trying to pull. So you get 2 variables being set there. Now we need to stick them back in. So we have the record already. We're inside of the record, right? So row there, find and replace, right? Because this is what this is the thing. So here we do, here's our So we push into that thing, and that's going to get a bunch of stuff to get replaced. So first we send in the row, and then new stats. So that'll push all that in. And now we are going to make sure that this thing has stuff to do. So it wants us to do a map, I guess. The updates equal placements.map, replace map, doop. This makes me feel like a developer when I do this, but don't be tricked. I'm not a developer. So we don't need field. We need the stats field and the other one. We need the views field, or else it's not gonna have an ID to do this with. Stats field. Boop. Give me my easy mode Airtable. Boom. YouTube views. Boop. Replacement dot new views. And then bippity bitty. How? What's the I'm trying to assume a couple things here. I'll just try this. We're gonna try it. What's the over under on this? I think 98% chance of working. Let's see. Run. Oh, son of a. At least it gave us an error. Cell value has invalid format. Root must be a number. Oh, so let's do this. Parse int. Of course, why would it be able to parse that? Why would it say those things that look like numbers, maybe they're numbers? Hit run. Oh, there it is. That's it. That's it. We did it. 100%. Yay. Good job. So one of the things that we're going to want to do, I think here, is we're going to want to go back and backfill everything now that we have this ability. I'll go in over the weekend and just fill this up with all the videos we've already made so we can keep track of it. Because like, that's just so...
This should be like the master tracker for this stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Not only does it figure out what content we need to make, but it also does this stuff. It blows me away about this. And I hope everybody kind of understands this a little bit. The gravity of what we've done here. We've taken what's easily like 2 weeks of work and compressed it down into a few hours. And this thing works better and cleaner than anything you could throw together in that 1 week, 2 weeks, whatever. You just, the amount of money that you can save on something, and the action that it's a completely custom productivity analytics tool, completely custom. You just can mold this thing around whatever you need it to do, and that's bananas. The fact that you can deliver out of this thing too is insane. That you could just be like, boom, I want to deliver this. Let me just right click and send the record to somebody. Yeah. Boom, there it is.
Airtable has their own API too.
Oh boy, APIs on APIs and APIs and APIs and APIs and APIs.